So welcome for the online group as well as the ones here in person. We have some fun last night at a trampoline park. That was fun. I wasn't there, but I was told that it was fun by all of those people except for this guy. However, it is snowing outside, so church in person has been canceled due to weather. And Sunday school here at 6 Points for the youth, we are in a series called The Laws of Nature and of Nature's God. You want to know the inspiration for that series, it has to do with the founding documents of the United States, states being plural. And that phrase comes up constantly in the second half of the 1700s in writings and sermons. So we are looking into what those are. So far we have covered the best way to start any story, which is what, Orson? What's the best way to start a story?
In the beginning.
In the beginning. And wouldn't you know it, the Christian Bible starts with those three words, in the beginning. So we already covered creation. It sounds a lot like the Big Bang, except with the creation story, God says, bang, there it was, let there be light. And there's beginning. Are you good? Okay.
I'm making surgery.
We've got glasses surgery over here in the corner. That's all right. We have covered creation of man and everything else. We are moving forward. And now we're going to be looking at Genesis chapter 6 and covering that. I have a couple printouts. If you're watching this on repeat, they'll be in the description. Otherwise, you'll have to take our word for it, I guess.
Mom gave you a heart.
All right. So, starting in chapter 6 of Genesis, we hear about this crazy thing going on planet Earth. No. Now it came to pass when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born to them, that the sons of God saw the daughters of men, that they were beautiful, and they took wives for them, and all whom they choose. And the Lord said, my spirit shall not strive with man forever, for he is indeed flesh, yet his days shall be 120 years. And there were giants on the earth in those days, and also afterward, when the sons of God came in to the daughters of men, and they were born children to them. Those were the mighty men who were of old, men of renown. And the Lord saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every intent and thoughts of his heart were only evil continually. And the Lord was sorry that he made man on the earth, and he was grieved in his heart. So the Lord God said, by the way, I'm reading from the New King James Version. If you have a different version, let us know. If there's differences, that would be cool. We can discuss them. I will destroy man, whom I have created from the face of the earth, both man and beast, creeping thing and birds of the air, for I am sorry that I made them. But Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord. All right, so your challenge, should you choose to accept it, is to find out who are the sons of God and the daughters of men. I don't know. I don't have an answer for you. So that is your challenge for next week. Find out who they are. Okay? Noah. Okay, so if we go down here, we've got Noah. This is the genealogy of Noah. Noah was a just man, perfect in his generation. Noah walked with God, and Noah begat 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. And the earth also was corrupt before God, and the earth was filled with violence. So God looked upon the earth, and indeed it was corrupt, for all flesh was corrupted in their way on the earth. So, huh? Yeah, what's that? I couldn't hear you. still is. It still is. It still is. Huh. So, there's violence, there's corruption, there's a bowl of cereal coming our way. By the way, there are muffins and these cool little pastries if you guys want to eat them. There's coffee as well. It's delicious. All right, so the meat and potatoes of today is we're talking about buoyancy and a giant flood. All right, if you continue reading chapter 6, you'll find out that this old guy named Noah is tasked with making a boat, okay, in preparation of a giant flood. Right? Now, Zayden, what do you know about this giant boat? It's a familiar story with Christians. It's big. What do you think it looks like?
Did it have like the quarters up top and like all the animals in the bottom?
I don't know.
And it carried 2 of each.
Okay, 2 of each type of animal. Do you think it looked like that?
That's what I'm trying to get at.
I think it looks like
Oh, yeah, I was trying to get at like the...
I don't know if the people online can see that, but it's your typical nursery rhyme, Noah's boat, Noah's Ark. The big bowl-looking thing with the animals all falling out.
Yeah, I feel like sure it's like it.
All right. Common motif. Okay. We see that in nursery rhymes. That's good. Right. Where are you guys going?
to get coffee.
Coffee. Okay. Coffee's behind the camera, by the way. So, right? Nursery rhyme stuff. You see this all the time in Christian bookstores, kids' rooms, right? Looks like a giant bowl with all kinds of animals just pouring out of it, right?
Yep.
Okay, so Zach, my oldest son, who's not here this morning, when he was a toddler, he loved this type of Noah's Ark. We actually made his nursery into that with all the plush animals and everything. However, that is not the description that we get of Noah's Ark. Noah's Ark, if you're looking at cargo, the boat is a certain ratio. And cargo ships today, the big giant container ships and oil tankers that travel the oceans, they are built to this ratio of height, depth, and width. And Noah's Ark is right in the middle of that triangle, which is kind of crazy, isn't it? Okay? It is a perfect ratio of height to depth to length for a cargo ship, which is pretty cool. So it looked more like that. It was a big rectangle, a big box. However, I didn't find a very good picture. I think it wasn't more pointed at the end. I think it was more squared off based on the description we get. But it's a big cargo ship. Now, Torsten, why do you think God told Noah to build a cargo ship and not a paddle boat?
Because Noah had the guarantee of each animal, so it preserved the populace and the paddle boat.
Okay. So, have you ever seen or heard of a zoo getting animals from another country? They do that quite a bit, right? If you're in the comments, if you've ever been to the Pittsburgh Zoo, you've probably seen an exhibit of animals from somewhere else. Okay. How do they get here? Boat, right? On a cargo ship. In containers, right? So Noah is transporting a bunch of animals, essentially on a cargo ship, for a long period of time on a big ocean. Just happens to be the whole planet, right? So a paddle boat or a cruise liner type boat wouldn't work very well, would it? You need something that's just going to sit there on the water and float, be relatively comfortable, and take care of business, right? And the ratio that we're given is the exact perfect ratio that engineers for cargo ships strive for. Pretty crazy, pretty wild, huh? That 5,000 or so years ago that this is recorded to have taken place, his boat meets that ratio perfectly. Yeah, they want to be right in the middle of that triangle for buoyancy, stability, fuel efficiency, right in the middle of that triangle. And Noah's Ark is the exact center of that triangle.
Yeah.
Well, he just needed to float, right? But he still meets that ratio. If you would have put an engine on that boat, it would have been the most efficient to take cargo across the ocean. So, how big do you think the boat was?
No, that's big engine.
I would say bigger than most other ships today.
Bigger or big or just as big?
Bigger.
Bigger. All right. What about online? And we got anybody commenting on how big they think it was? Bigger or smaller than modern ocean liners and cargo ships? While they're going to hopefully vote, we're going to read the description here, okay? All right.
I thought they're about the same because you just said it is actually a ratio, which if they pick with that ratio, they're about the same.
So you think about the same, huh? All right. And God said to Noah, the end of all flesh has come before me, for the earth is filled with violence through them, and behold, I will destroy them with the earth. Make yourself an ark of gopher wood. Make rooms in the ark, and cover it inside and outside with pitch.
Timothy. Pastor Diana said much bigger.
Much bigger. We got our pastor Pastor Diana voting much bigger. All right. So make rooms. Why would there be rooms needed in this giant boat?
So the animals don't go non-lion covered.
Yeah, you don't want the bears and lions and tigers taking out the gazelles, right?
Nah, that'd be bad.
That'd be bad.
Yeah, with it.
Floating zoo, huh?
Dude.
And this is how you shall make it. The length of the ark shall be 300 cubits, the width 50 cubits, and the height 30 cubits.
Hey, Pastor Dave said bigger.
Bigger. Pastor Dave, we got vote for bigger, right? All right. Cubits. You shall make a window for the ark, and you shall finish it to a cubit above. And set the door of the ark on its side. You shall make it with lower, second, and third decks. So, there's 3 decks. Pop quiz, Titanic, famous boat, sunk on its maiden voyage, right? How many decks did the Titanic have?
3.
It had 5 decks.
I just guessed.
That's what I was thinking at first. I was like, oh no.
Do you know why it had 5 decks, though?
One for the poor people, one for the almost poor people, one for the middle class, and then for the high class.
No, it was actually one for the poor folk, one for the middle class, one for the rich, and then the other 2 decks, one was an observation deck on top, and the other one was steerage, which is where all of the guts of the ship were. That's where all the crew quarters were, the engines, the fuel, all of the stuff you typically don't want to pay attention to if you're a customer, but you definitely do if you're operating the boat, right? What did Noah's Ark not have, Vander?
Steerage.
He didn't have steerage, right? Because he had no engine, right? So he had no need for steerage deck. And it also didn't have an observation deck, right? So that leaves us with how many decks?
3.
3.
We're not counting 2, not 2.
3. By the way, if you look at modern cargo ships, they have that same type of deck system. They have a steerage deck, which has all the guts. They have a lower deck for storage. They have a mid deck for storage. And then they have an upper deck for cargo as well. So that's kind of neat, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so what is a cubit?
What measurement?
It's a measurement. Do you know how long that is?
I'm just gonna take a wild guess and say.
I have no idea.
I don't know.
It is a very old measurement dating a long time ago. Went out of usage about the time of the ancient Egyptians. So way long back. Okay. So today we use an equivalent measurement called a metric measurement. A meter, right? A meter.
Yeah, but us Americans use the imperial system.
Imperial system, that would be like a yard, right? Okay. So an equivalent would be 137 meters long for the length. So I have another printout right here, and my printout cut off some of it, so you can't see two boats on it. The Viking longboat that's dated 1000 excuse me, AD, and the Santa Maria, which is dated 1492, right? What? Hey now. All right, so there's the trireme, which is the Greek fighting ship. That's 210 BC. The Titanic, 1912. The USS Missouri is 1944. We have the aircraft carrier Nimitz class, which is 1975. The Queen Mary II, which was at the time, I don't know if it still is, but in 2003, it was the largest cruise ship on the planet. And the largest oil tanker is the Jari Viking oil crude tanker. Okay, and that is 2015.
When's that second one? The Queen cruise ship.
So the Queen Mary, the first one, was the former largest, and then they made another one called the Queen Mary II, and they made it bigger. And it is they are the two largest cruise ships. Okay, so some measurements on those. We got the USS Missouri, which is a battle cruiser. It's at 270 meters long.
That's way easier
Noah's Ark was 137 meters long. Half the size.
Nah, that's like what?
Okay. The crude oil tanker ship, 485 meters long, which is almost 4 times the size of Noah's Ark. So I'm
you
going to
put
pass
the
that
bigger
around.
one on 4 sides and the smaller one. Oh my.
That is a 2-scale setup. What? Your glasses are fine for right now. After class, we'll go get them fixed. By the way, we have broken glasses from trampoline. Yeah. All right, so we had a couple votes for, it was substantially bigger, right? You want to show the online crowd? Okay. However, Noah's Ark is relatively small compared to modern ships. Right? It's pretty small.
I mean, you said that they have the same ratio.
Ratio.
That's obviously a lie, because if they're the same ratio, it would be the same size.
No. Ratio. Think of triangles. So
Yep.
this is the same ratio of length and width as this piece of paper
Oh,
is.
it ain't. That piece of paper is way smaller.
But it's the same ratio. The length to the width is the same ratio.
That's nice.
Okay. So,
Shut up.
fascinating, huh? I used to think that Noah's Ark was just giant. Just this massive, huge ship.
Hell yeah.
Still is.
It is a big boat, isn't it? But when you compare it to some modern ships, it's not that big, is it?
No.
Um,
But most of the ships are
no, actually,
Titanic.
that, yes, but the Missouri was sunk by the Germans. No, by the,
Is the Queen on it?
no, it's one of our boats.
Technically,
By the Japanese, actually,
the
sunk
gold
the
on
Missouri.
the Titanic are stuff.
Was the president on it?
That's true, Zayden. The swimming pools on the Titanic are still full of water. They never drain. They did overflow though.
Just a little bit. Yeah, just a little bit. Maybe that's why we have the ocean. Just really cool.
Just this.
Just much like cool. Some of them natural cool.
All right, so who got on the boat?
What?
How many people got on the boat?
Five.
One person. Two.
One family.
What?
No.
How many people got on Noah's Ark?
3 people. One family.
It was one family, but how many people?
5 people.
4.
It was actually 5 because there was 3 kids and 2 adults.
7?
8.
I
Dang
was
it.
one off. You think it would?
There was 5 kids, no, 6 kids and 2 adults.
All right, so here's who we know got on the boat. We know Noah got on the boat. Noah's wife got on the boat. Ham got on the boat. Ham's wife got on the boat.
Ham doesn't count. He's obviously
Shem?
dead.
Got on the boat.
Shem's wife.
Shem's wife got on the boat. Japheth got on the boat. And
His
Japheth's
son.
wife got on the boat.
Technically, they did not
Do
have.
they have sons?
Not yet.
They didn't have all the
So,
Dead.
Ocean's
so
Yeah,
Zayden.
anyway.
So that's 8 people. What happened to the kids that didn't get on the boat?
They
died.
drowned.
They obviously died.
That's horrible, isn't it?
Yeah, God put them on the ship and he took them right back out.
All right. Who was responsible for the kids to get on the boat?
Well, his
The
parents.
parents.
These dumb parents.
Parents.
No,
Did he give them the opportunity to get on the boat?
Yeah.
He
They
did.
didn't. They're stupid. They didn't listen.
Zayden, if you got told to get on a boat, you probably wouldn't either.
They said Jesus said that there's I'm going to cover you up. I'm hopping on that boat. I mean, I'm taking things with me, but I'm hopping on that boat.
All right. So
That's one of the ways I'm back.
it takes 40 years or so to build this boat. Okay, it's all hand tools. Okay, takes a long time to build the boat, and during that entire time, Noah is telling everyone why he's building it. He's saying, "Hey, the end of the world is coming. You need to help me build this boat. Get on the boat.
Loki was on the
Get saved. Be saved." Right?
Really sounds crazy,
Why would he sound crazy?
though. If you build a boat, it was in the water.
Because he builds a boat where there's no water.
We built a boat, he built a boat with no water in it.
He
Said, there's going to be lots of rain.
There's gonna be lots of
One day, there's going to be lots of rain. We all are going to
You know what?
swallow
You
it.
know what else is funny? Rain.
How long did it take for the water to
So,
fill up?
if you think about it, it would fill up the boat while it's filling up.
There's only one window on the side, so how would it get in?
One.
It's covered in pitch, which is waterproof, inside and out.
Alright, for that,
And
how long did
there's
it take,
obviously something to go to the top.
how long did it take all the rain to cover
You
the
see that? Those run photo?
mountain?
That's not an accurate
You can get
depiction.
on the top. Yeah.
So there's one door, one entrance. It's in the side.
And they would have to have a top. They would have to because it says in the story that they got when like the thing built
The
it,
dove?
They saw the rainbow and the dove came on.
That's through the window.
No, it's mental.
But how long did it take for the rain to cover the mountains? Because we get rain all the time and that lasts like a day and it doesn't even make a
Well, it rained for 40 days and 40 nights.
What are you saying? There's about a day may have really not.
But it wasn't just rain. Also, the rivers of the deep erupted. There were earthquakes, which caused land shifting. So it's not just the rain that covered the earth. It's also all the water from
Was it so
underneath
much?
came out.
Yeah, it's not good.
Well, that was kind of the idea,
You
wasn't
could
it?
have played you guys could have played a really intense game with Lava. But that's not a problem. That's water. So it still would be a very intense game.
So
How do we still have lava?
lava is magma.
And wouldn't water just like cover everything up? Because
No,
Because
it's
magma
under the
is
ground.
underneath, under the core of the earth.
Ha!
Is the core.
would the water be cold or hot?
I have no
It would be
idea.
in the sun all day, and like all the hot things make it hot, but it would also be cold.
Good question.
So, it would
Salt.
most likely be cold.
It would be salty.
It would
Probably
most like,
not though. It's not going to be salty.
Yeah, it
The
would
only the salt is in the ocean,
yeah,
and
that's what I
compared
mean.
to all the
That's
water.
where, like, that's where, like, all the magma is. That's the situation. It would be cold because water takes a long time to heat up in a lot of heat.
That's true.
But they also have like lava pockets under the ground that can heat it up.
There's like a pot.
That's actually.
And it
I
also
have
has the
no
sun
idea.
That
shining
will not
on it
even
all day.
get to the top
All
level.
day it has the sun shining on it. You think that sun cannot like warm up water?
Go to a little bit of James Pool. When that's open all day, it's still going to be cold.
That's
Not-
true.
It,
That-
actually,
that's-
it would be warm at the end of the day
Yeah.
if it wasn't cold outside.
It's
No,
cold.
it would still be cold. It would still
But
be cold.
still, he doesn't have lava underneath his pool.
All right. So
Those
back.
are countries
Did
that
they go
countries
swimming
think-
in the ocean? Like,
No,
did
they stay in the boat.
Like, did they just go out the window? It was like, bye, mom.
Probably not. They
We
would
go out a little bit, go swimming.
Probably not. It's storming.
The whole time?
Yeah, it's a giant storm.
Was it like me?
Yes.
It would be really funny if Brian missed and hit the boat.
Ha!
I don't think that happened.
He was just like playing around, be like, boom, I just.
All right. So, how many animals do you think we're on? How many dogs?
2.
Wait.
Two of each kind.
Wait, how is there only 2 dogs if there's more than one type of dog? That don't make no sense.
That's what I said. There's
It
2
has to
of
be 2
each.
of each breed, which is actually.
Why would there be 2 of
Actually,
each breed?
it would not have to have 2 of each
So
breed. You
it's
only have a
all
couple of
these-
dogs. Cause what we did was we done make more dogs and more dogs, more breeds. But technically there's probably only like 4 dogs.
2 dogs.
So yeah.
Told
That
you!
doesn't make no sense.
Loser!
You can get any breed of dog by breeding 2 dogs.
And well,
So, all right. How many cows do you think are on the boat?
2.
I don't think so. I think there's 7.
Oh yeah, because they use them as food.
Food, right?
Because they had ground cats and they chopped them up.
No, that doesn't make sense.
So, you shall take with you 7 of each of every clean animal, a male and a female, 2 of each animal that are unclean, a male and a female. 7 of each of the birds of the air, male and female, to keep the species alive on the face of all the earth. For after 7 more days I will cause it to rain on the earth, 40 days and 40 nights. Now, here's the thing. There is this old guy, this really old guy in the Bible. He is the oldest guy ever.
God. Big guy.
Methuselah.
He's a big guy.
Was he like 130 or something?
He was really, really old.
Even if you live like 600, you go to heaven.
Wait. You said people lived until like the 600s, so that was not that old.
Yeah, he lives over 800 years old.
That question.
Well, toy, you lied.
Listen.
You said 100.
He died, so, you know, like, I look at like, hey, look right there. Oh, what?
Dude.
Oopsie. Do.
Zayden, do you know what causes lightning?
God.
Positive, well yes, but positive and negative charges.
Yeah, but he could just use that as an excuse.
Well, he did create
could
the
be
laws of nature.
He could be out here, and, like, some guy would be walking, he's like, you know what? I don't like the way that guy's looking today.
Yeah, probably not. I don't think that's.
I want him in heaven right now because I need to give him a serious.
All right, so back to the boat, okay? So this guy named Methuselah, his name means the Lord brings it. Okay? That's it. That's what his name means. The Lord brings it. He dies.
He died at
He did now.
he died at age 969.
Yeah.
Toy school it.
That's
not nice. He was literally only like 30.
Okay,
30 away
so
from dying.
he is Noah's grandpappy, okay? He dies. Zayden, listen. Okay, he dies. Now, customarily, you took 7 days to mourn someone's death. Guess what happens 7 days after Methuselah dies?
They,
They're in the boat, the door's shut, and the rain starts.
Bye bye. Imagine being in the window and you just see like everybody's like laughing at you and then the wind starts to like, oh, can I get in? And you're like, huh, you should have talked to me and I would have made it. But no, you're still
Well,
gonna be done.
that is
You're
what
done.
happens after the boat is sealed shut and the rain starts and the flood started happening. The people try to get on the boat and they can't because it's sealed up. So,
Wait,
which brings
are
me
you
back.
saying that hundreds of people could not break into a boat. It won't have access. It's made out of wood. It's not made out of titanium.
They couldn't get in. So back to my my other question. The little kids who died in the flood, who was responsible for making sure they got on the boat?
the parents.
No, they're
They
on will.
would.
They're on
Good.
will.
Bush.
Their own will.
They would
Their
be
own
responsible
we
for
their
themselves.
belief, their faith.
How would the little kids get on the boat?
Parents. Some parents. Who's parents,
Right?
right?
The parents were responsible, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just like your parents are responsible for you, and when you have kids, you'll be responsible for them, right? So, here's your challenge, closing out the class, okay? Next week. All right. Next week, you need to find out who the sons of God are and who the daughters of men are that created giants.
Jesus.
Okay?
God himself.
See if you can find out who they are, because that's it. That's all we see here, right? Okay. And we're going to talk about some other laws of nature and of nature's God next week as well. So, we're going to get into
Amen.
getting married and making babies with people you're not married to next week.
That's not a good idea. That's how bullshit.
No, how abortion happens is people murder kids.
I mean, Adam and Eve wasn't married, so they don't have to be.
I'm pretty sure since they were the first, they defined what marriage was.
But what they did, like what they
After
decide-
they had kids.
Well, yeah, but that's a different one. If an angel comes down to you and says, yo, don't believe with this person, I'm pretty sure that's a pretty good excuse.
All right, before you guys can leave, you got to answer a question.
I bet.
All right, so it's how we end class. We're going to start with, we got a couple people online, right?
Yes.
Who's online?
The pastors and then mama.
All right, so we're going to start with Pastor Diana. This is her question. Okay? How many people got on the boat?
You.
No, but if they didn't get on the boat, you wouldn't be alive.
No answer.
No answer yet. All right, we'll give her a minute.
Oh,
All right,
that was an easy question.
Pastor Dave's is, how many days did it rain?
Don't use Google.
All right.
He already said it.
All right, Torsten, your question is?
Pastor Diana said 8.
8. Pastor Diana's right. All right,
You can
Torsten,
Go on.
your question is, was Noah's Ark built as a cargo ship or a cruise liner? It was a cargo ship.
Yo, the air outfit would die or is he still alive?
All right, Zayden, you want a hard question then? All right.
Even on one.
Why did the boat float and not fill up with water?
Because they used that seal to.
What's that seal called?
Ooh.
We got him.
Jesus.
We got him.
No.
Jesus is the answer to
Got
everything.
him.
Jesus is
All right,
the
we'll
answer
come back to you.
everything.
All right, Xander, here's your question. You ready? What natural law was used that caused everyone not in the boat to die? Let me ask you another one. Can you breathe water? So how did they die?
How did they drink the water?
At some point, someone would probably die with the earthquake.
How did they drink the water? The water
And you didn't let me finish. I was going to say the earthquake and the water. Because some people might die with the earthquake.
All right, drowning, right?
Yeah, sure.
But the water wasn't supposed to drink. It was taken with fire. It's on a boat made out of wood.
Why wouldn't the water be safe to drink?
Because it's salty.
Might not be.
And it's
The
raining.
salt water is
And it's
actually
dirty.
not
They're saying
bad.
that there's not gonna be dirt.
It tastes bad, but salt water is actually not bad for you.
What about the
You can
dirt
drink it
that's
all day
like
long.
all in it, and like the trees and the
Depends on the salt content.
Like,
I'm
you
not-
have
I'm
every,
not-
every nasty thing they tie up in that water, and you're telling me you don't drink it.
Yep.
You know,
I would.
rain is drinkable, right? In general, rain is drinkable. Now, acid rain is not, but there's things that cause acid rain. But generally speaking, rain is drinkable. All right, Tori, here's your question. Pastor Dave get his?
He got off.
Oh, he laughed. Oh. All right, do you know the answer?
To what?
How many days did it rain?
40
40.
days and nights.
Days and nights. So, all right, Zayden. The word you're looking for is pitch.
But Jesus didn't answer this.
And we will see you next week.
Those is
Fun.